You know that feeling when you're craving something new to watch, but just can't decide? Well, I've got you covered with an anime that's a perfect blend of adventure, comedy, and believe it or not, cooking. Today, I'm serving up a hearty recommendation, Delicious in Dungeon, an anime that's as tasty as it sounds, without any of the calories. So, what's the deal with Delicious in Dungeon? Picture this. You're an adventurer, deep in a dungeon, battling monsters left and right. You're tired, hungry, and oh no, your supplies are gone. What do? You could turn back, or you could do what our heroes do. Start cooking up those monsters and turn them into a gourmet feast. Yep, you heard that right. This show is essentially Iron Chef, Dungeons and Dragons Edition. Our story kicks off when a group of adventurers, led by the ever-hungry Laos, lose a fight with a dragon. In the chaos, their cleric gets eaten, and they're forced to retreat, but not before losing all their food and supplies. Now, with no gold to buy more supplies and a ticking clock to rescue their friend from becoming permanent dragon chow, Laos comes up with a brilliant plan. Why not just eat the monsters they encounter? And so begins their culinary quest through the dungeon. Let's talk characters, because what's a good dish without the right ingredients? Laos is your typical goofy but determined leader with a stomach of steel. His obsession with eating monsters might make you question his sanity. But hey, you've got to admire his enthusiasm. Then there's Marcel, the elf mage who's less than thrilled about the whole eating monsters thing. She's basically the voice of reason, which is crucial because, well, someone needs to remind Laos that not everything in a dungeon should be on a plate. And finally, we have Senshi, the stoic dwarf warrior who happens to be an expert in, you guessed it, monster cuisine. He's like Gordon Ramsay if Ramsay could also cleave through a pack of kobolds with a battle axe. Now let's get into the visuals. The animation in Delicious in Dungeon is solid, but where it really shines is in the food scenes. The way they depict the preparation of monster meals is surprisingly detailed and mouth-watering. Yes, even when it's a roasted basilisk or a slime jelly. Trust me, you'll start questioning your own diet by the end of an episode. It's clear the creators had a lot of fun merging the culinary with the fantastical, and it shows. The humor in this anime is top-notch, with plenty of lighthearted moments to balance out the more intense dungeon crawling. What makes Delicious in Dungeon stand out is how it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's self-aware, poking fun at the typical fantasy tropes while also embracing them. The storytelling is paced just right, with each episode offering a new monster to, digest, both literally and figuratively. So, should you watch Delicious in Dungeon? Absolutely. Whether you're a fan of fantasy, cooking shows, or just want something different from your usual anime diet, this show is a delicious treat. It's got charm, creativity, and a unique concept that sets it apart from the usual dungeon crawling fare. Plus, who doesn't want to see what happens when you throw a wyvern steak on the grill? In the end, I'm giving Delicious in Dungeon a solid 8 out of 10. It's not perfect. There are moments where you might wish for more character development or a bit more depth in the plot. But overall, it's a tasty and satisfying watch that I'd highly recommend. So, what are you waiting for? Grab a snack, settle in, and prepare to dive into the most delicious dungeon you'll ever explore. And hey, if you've already seen it, let me know in the comments what your favorite monster dish was. Until next time, happy watching, and don't forget to tip your dungeon chef.